Hey, Recovery Fitness, Sean Humphrey coming to you just post-workout, and I haven't been making these a lot, especially for the YouTube channel, but I was talking to my brother yesterday, my baby brother, my little brother Gabe, and he'd asked me about the videos. I said I hadn't been making as much here, but Instagram's got a good following now, and he's like, man, he's just saying how much he liked sometimes what I had to say, not always, but we started talking about the grind, and Gabe has MS and Hashimoto's disease, so he finds himself not being able to accomplish all the things that he could be able to do, and that's kind of recovery fitness, isn't it? We're all recovering from something, and one of the things he was saying to me was we got to keep pushing, we got to keep grinding. He goes to do things that he gets too tired to do now, but he's got to remember after he gets that rest, he's got to keep pushing and to not give up. And that was inspiring. I mean, that's kind of how I live my life too. But it was inspiring to hear it from him. And I don't know, maybe I just needed to hear that, and God put it on him yesterday to tell me. He also said, you just never know. Maybe one person needs to hear what you got to share for the day. And that's the person that you help. And so I can't get caught up on likes and views and shares. It'd be nice to have more, certainly, and get the message out more about what we do. But, so what's been going on here lately is, it is the battle. It's the battle, my addiction and my trauma survivors and my, mental health survivors out here doing the thing each and every day. And lately my mental health has been whack. Thank God for recovery, leading me to remember the tools that I was taught growing up, and to give me some new tools that have been able to keep me alive during this period of depression. At the end of the day, if I didn't have these tools and I haven't been implementing them on a daily basis, it's one thing to have the tools, but if you're not using them daily, we're not going to want to use them when we really need them. So I guess, I kind of checked in a couple weeks ago. I was going through small bouts of maybe depression and just trying to get through it using the recovery tools, and it ebbs and flows. It'll pop up, it'll come down, and sometimes it feels like you're dying on the inside a little bit, or you're in pain, or maybe it's like your brain's crying a little bit. For me, I can look at my gratitudes. I can see the amazing life that God's given me and that He's granted me to have, and I still sometimes have trouble getting out of the depression, out of the funks. And that's the first thing I think we got to do, is find that gratitude. But what do we do when that doesn't work? And so for me, it's about, not only realizing that this too shall pass. A thought is just a thought. It's not who I am, but it's just something that happened inside this brain of mine. And I'm letting it move on to the next ones. And so if it's good, this too shall pass. If it's what I deem to be negative, this too shall pass. Been using the power of prayer and meditation and surrender a lot. Exercise, of course, but my heart's not in it lately. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm still doing things that still makes me better. Could you imagine if I ate poorly, that makes me feel bad, and then I quit working out altogether, so I feel terrible, and then the next thing I'm sleeping too much, staying up too late, right back in the funk of it. And then you're really in trouble at that point. So I guess my message is, no matter where we are in recovery, we have addiction, we have trauma, mental health, so many other things that, people deal with health issues, serious diseases that will affect you, not only physically, but where you're going, but it definitely is going to affect your mental and emotional well-being. So I'm speaking to everybody today, especially you, Gabe. Thank you for the inspiration yesterday. It made me see things a little bit different, and remind myself that, even though I have obstacles, other people might have it worse, man. other people are certainly have it worse in some areas of life. So what can I celebrate? Who can I help? What can I do? For me, it's just prayer, getting into the prayer and staying with it, doing the healthy things I know that keep me strong mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, 4 pillars of recovery fitness, and to have that fitness in all 4 aspects. So prayer, meditation, education, reading, keeping your brain sharp, eating healthy, exercise at some point. All these things, they're things that I have to do to stay healthy and well. And I want to remind everybody that try it if you haven't, to go back to it if you've slacked off. Self-evaluation is so key. We have to do self-evaluation, and for me, it's every day. At some point during the day, probably if it's not first thing in the morning, it's by midday, and then of course at night, and I try to reflect in the morning as well when I'm doing my meditation and prayer. So I love you guys. I do feel like I'm called on a mission to carry some messages and to try to help people, and I don't always know if I'm doing a good job, but I'm trying to do the best job I can, and so just want to send that out there. One love. God bless. Take care.